good day. It's hot. It's hot. But I want to go ahead and talk about two special values. And I'm going to combine them again because I see the relevance. They're very close in proximity to me. And they speak a lot about. It's going to rain again? Okay, anyway. Speak a lot about persona. The first one today is beauty, right? Beauty comes from the Latin bellus, or beautiful or fine. Old French beaut. Like, oh, that's a beaut, you know? That old French, whatever, but it's Latin for beautiful or fine, bellus. And, that saying comes to mind, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that, so it really is, it's an inside job. That's something that you have to do, have to acknowledge, have to know, is a part of your value system. And it's usually, given the definition, a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses. But here we're strengthening the values of the physical world so that we can touch the unphysical world. Okay, so a sense of beauty is more so than aesthetics, because replicas can look just like an original. And we talked about authenticity, and a person can be fooled by a replica and not understand the value of the original. You get me? So beauty, aesthetics is senses. That's, your sight, your taste, your pleasure center. A sense of beauty, of knowing what that is. It's valuable because once you strengthen the third dimensional muscle of being able to identify authenticity and originality, something that is very unique, you will develop a different sense of beauty. So you have to know what beauty means to you specifically in order to build that. You'll recognize the beauty that you fashioned your mind to appreciate, the originality, the authenticity. When you start to unravel these things within you, this is something that you'll be able to recognize in others, and it will be more so at the forefront. But if you've been submerged in environments around a bunch of replicas, when you see something original, or other people see something original, they find it distasteful, or they cannot appreciate the beauty because all they've known is something that was fabricated. Boldness is the second value that I want to touch on. Boldness is the quality of having a strong, vivid, or clear appearance, willingness to take risks and act innovatively, confidence, or courage, right? Courage and confidence didn't come up as values in my list of values that I'm going to cover. So I'm going to touch bases on what the hell confidence and courage is, okay? Confidence comes from the Latin word confidere, having full trust. And I talk about this a lot. I've definitely been talking about this in conversation with people as of late. Confidence is firm trust. It's the state of feeling certain about the truth of something, self-assurance. Where I see 90% of people failing when it comes to confidence and trust, they put their confidence in trusting another person. They don't use the confidence and the trust to trust their own decisions. When in regards to a person, you are never to give your trust away. This is your value. Trustworthiness is something that another person can possess, but trust and confidence in that trust is your responsibility. You are to trust your actions and decisions. This is why we're building that discernment. You have dealt with things that have strengthened these muscles of knowing. You know when something feels off. You have to trust it. You know when something doesn't feel right to you. You have to trust it. and you build the confidence in yourself. That's where that self-assurance comes from, to give you that authority in order to be authentic safely. You have that full trust in what you're feeling because you've identified which sense of values really align with that thing, or if they are lacking. So once you feel it, you'll be like, damn, this is hollow. It looked beautiful to the naked eye, but everything in me is telling me that it's missing something of value. Because you have your values fortified, you are going to attract like things. When you attract opposite things, it's because there's a lack of, and you need to be able to recognize and discern the difference. This one of these things is not like the other. So this is what the value of boldness. It takes courage and confidence. Okay, so courage is the ability to do something that frightens one. It comes from the Latin cor, which is heart. So this is why I'm talking about feeling it, being able to feel it and discern it. You have felt, this is why the tarot is so vibrationally important to me as a tool to use, because I can pick up on a feeling, but it's a pictorial key that shows somebody exactly what I'm seeing or sensing. Or even if the picture is showing one depiction, I can feel the variation or the nature of what that feeling is surrounding, because I have the discernment. I have felt every single emotion within that deck. I have felt all the influences in that deck with recognition and awareness to understand that I can be having a conversation with someone and a card, the image of a card will pop into my third eye, and I'll know exactly what I'm dealing with, who I'm speaking to, and what I'm speaking to them about specifically. I have full trust that I know these things inwardly, and therefore I can express them outwardly. So that's how I utilize that tool. I have full trust that I know what I feel. So when I speak it, it's with the authority coming from a place of courage, because sometimes we doubt ourselves, like, damn, should I say that? Or damn, is this correct? And you kind of beat yourself up before you actually can get the point out, or you don't feel confident that what you're speaking would be received or what have you. So that boldness, to to have that courage, that faith in one's own feelings. There's beauty in it. Okay, so this beauty, boldness. I mean, what they say, fortune favors the bold. So it is about innovation. It is about authenticity. It is about achievement. This is what brings you a sense of achievement, is to be confident in the boldness that you carry and find beauty in it, in that authentic state. Okay, so like I said, these values are very close in proximity. They're touching corners, and they kind of, I don't want to say bleed into one another, but it's like an ombre effect where it's a full spectrum, and your hue is going to be different. You're going to have values that are far stronger than another person's. So the way that you're coloring your palette, the way your canvas, you have all the same colors, but the way that you use them in those strokes of life that you're painting your reality with and moving forward is very specific to you. Everything is an original. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes from you, I don't care if a person, perfect example, Aretha Franklin, right? She took Dionne Warwick's song, and this song was in my head for weeks. And I was like, I don't even know this song. So I looked up the lyrics, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, whoa, like, I felt that on a soul cellular level, like everything sparked in me. She was an Aries sun, so I get it. That's speaking to the Aries Jupiter and North Node placement I have. So I get it. I'm like, oh, okay. But what she did The writer who made the song and let Dionne Warwick sing it, let Aretha listen to it. Aretha recreated it and published it, put it out less than a year later, and it was far more successful. It's not that she had a different sense of authenticity. She put her own stamp on it. She had a different voice. She was a different kind of lively. Dion's version was very soft and subtle. Aretha was very bold, and her beauty was her voice, her captivation, her stamp on it. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna run with it, and I'm gonna put my thing on it. You know what I'm saying? And it became successful. I even heard her rendition of "Rolling in the Deep" by Adele, and even in her 70 years of age, she provided a bold, beautiful, authentic deliverance of that project, of that song. That was already made. It was already done. You see it now. People are doing renditions, and they're doing covers, and they're recreating something that has already been done. Okay, they say there's nothing new under the sun. True enough. But the way that you deliver this beauty without copyright infringement or plagiarism, I need to add that for some people, because they don't fucking understand. You can't just, you know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. So with the full intention of adding your stamp of boldness on it and putting your sense of beauty into it, it becomes a new thing. Though it is not the very original, it was original when you did it your way. So that was great. Now with courage, there's a piece here about having strength in the pain, strength in the face of pain or grief. And I want to go into that just a little bit, just off the muscle. Having strength in the face of pain or grief is not the same as putting shit on the back burner and never intending to go back and deal with it. That's cowardice. That is not heart. That is not courage. Courage is, at this moment, what is best for the situation is for me to persevere and get to a stage where I am comfortable. So comfort is another thing that a person has to establish inwardly. This isn't something, you're going to find outside of you. You can always find something that is uncomfortable about something. Always. People can be nitpicky about luxurious shit, and still find discomfort. Dis-ease and discomfort, that's an inside thing too. So when a person is going through grief or pain, to be fortified and have full trust that it's going to be okay in this moment, though I feel this way or though I have experienced this thing, I'm still alive. I know that this will pass. So I'm going to do what I need to do right now with the energy that I have. I'm going to put it forth as strength. Okay, I'm going to utilize this energy that I have. And when I am at a point where I can sit down and really take the time, put in the effort and the energy, I will sift and sort through it one by one and come to terms. A lot of times when something happens unexpectedly, and around grief, around loss and things like that, those are out of our control. But the way we react to them and the way that we portray our grief and pain is very much our doing. So to hold it all together, and I've seen a very, very, very strong representation, even in my own family, in the face of grief, to still have courage. I will give this its proper time and place, but in this moment, I have to have strength so that I can handle these necessities, so I can handle these priorities. And once I can do that, I can sit back, a moment of rest, 4 swords. I kept seeing 4 swords in my head when I was recording this. 4 swords, and one by one, each of those knives, each of those thoughts, each of those ponderings, I'm going to handle them and I'm going to deal with them in my own space, in my own time. That's not the same as ignoring them, okay? So I just want to clear that up, because there's a difference between boldness and ignorance. There's a difference between boldness and arrogance, okay? A person can act as if nothing faces them when they have a whole closet of skeletons that are not all dead. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come back and they're going to turn to the thing under the stairs, you know? So it's very vital to, before they come for you, these things that you're afraid of, or these things that you haven't dealt with, the pains you have not tended to, it's important to go to them. You don't wait until you're in a position where you have no choice. You'd rather it be your choice to safely bring each thing out and handle it appropriately. Because when it comes upon you, if it comes for you, there's no reservation or consideration for time, place, and context. It could be in the middle of something very important, and it can hit you, blindside you. So we're not doing that. We're not allowing anything. I mean, we know the universe does things unexpectedly, true enough. But when you're constantly in a state of working thyself and getting that shit strengthened out, fortifying those values, you can really sense when something is about to come and shake that and rattle that, and you'll have a better stance on being able to brace yourself for impact. Like you'll be ready versus somebody just sucker punching you, or hitting you in the damn gut with some stuff. You really want to be the one, courageous enough, bold enough to do it first, to handle it first. That's where that confidence comes from. If I can put this aside for just a moment, do this thing I'm uncomfortable with, and then go back to the fear of it and really face this, or the grief of it, or the pain of it, and really figure out what it's made of. Now I can see that it's just filament. It's just taking up space. But what can I use this for in order to clear up this space? Now I can hold other things. Now I can be readily available to bring in more of what I want, while I properly handle and release the things that I do not. So beauty and boldness, very, very important values. I thought I had something else to say, and Spirit was like, nope, that's it. You said it. You said it all. So that's that. And good luck. I'll see you again tomorrow.